we did. I thought our guys did a lot of good things. I thought they, one of our concerns, and it might not even look by, I don't know, that score in the second half, but the second half is stay with some pressure points. We haven't been very consistent with that throughout, I don't know how many games, whatever number of games we've played. In the second half, we've done better when the defense is in front of the bench, and obviously people are fresher, thank you, and so forth. So I thought we did a better job of sustaining some pressure points in the second half. We probably had 3 or 4. You guys probably have a better count than I, but played pretty good defense, and then we just didn't finish it off with a rebound, which is obviously picking up the paycheck for that. So that was I mean, there was a lot of positive within that possession, but a big negative at the end, and we certainly got burned on that a few times. Their big kid is a really good player. He's a really good player, and I thought we did a pretty good. I mean, I don't know what he ended up with. Probably had great numbers, but I thought we did a pretty good job on him, and when we had some pressure points, we did good. Obviously, free throws did not help us, and I thought rebounding, we handled the ball well today, and so anyway, any questions?
How reflective do you think today's game is basically of who you are going into the conference? I mean, you handle the ball well, you create some pressure defensively, but obviously the rebound numbers kind of are what they are coming into the game. Is that what you think?
Yeah. That's where we are right now. Again, I think these guys, we got to be, from a coaching standpoint, we got to have the balancing act of being very persistent in what we do with our teaching and holding kids accountable, but also very patient in the big picture. And I think our kids have done a pretty good job. We're just trying to do the next right thing. We got kids that, they haven't experienced a lot, and their emotions are young, and a lot of times when you have a collective number, you're just trying to figure out yourself, and really you got to get lost within the team. And I'm not saying no one's selfish. That's not my point. That's my point is when you're just surviving on yourself, it's hard to get lost within the team of knowing what other guys are supposed to be doing, because your mind's going, again, their minds are going very, very fast. The game is very, very fast when you're young. And, but it's good. I mean, it's like most things, it can be, we can't get, and I say the patience, we can't, hey, we want to win every game. We're disappointed when we don't win a game, but we can't let that cloud get in the way of a persistent way of just keep going about it and just keep getting better and moving forward. And when you have a lot of personalities, that's what we're working on.
Besides just practicing it, is there anything that you guys can do to improve the rebounding situation? Maybe different guys, smaller lineup sometime, or is there anything you've played with it?
Yeah, but again, you guys are looking at and I mean, you guys might be right, but I'm saying you're looking at number 39 and 26. I'm assuming that's what you're looking at. Has Kevin been in here yet?
No.
Well, you ask him about his rebound. We got more offensive rebounds than they got. My point is, we miss more shots. So just for numbers, believe me, we got to do better rebounding. That's not my point. But numbers are a little bit skewed at times too, and they certainly showed up at the wrong time tonight. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, that's something that we definitely have to get better at. No doubt about it. But I've always been a believer. It's kind of interesting. I looked at their rebounding, and that kid that's a shooter, 13, who's like unbelievable shooter, he had 7 rebounds. I mean, it doesn't make any if you're 5'2" or 7'2". I mean, you got to get a body. You got to go after the ball. You got to know how ball. You got to understand the angle, how the ball comes out. Is it a short shot or is it a long shot? A lot of things go. There's a lot of variables in that, but the desire just to go get the ball. I think most guards. I personally think guards have an advantage rebounding, but most guards grow up the first 18 years of their life, and maybe even longer, never even thinking about rebounding. I mean, it's not even mentioned to them. So that's kind of where that is in my mind.
The thing that seemed to stand out today is especially in the first half, early in the second half, you would do something really well, like have a strong defensive possession, and they would get a bounce, and then they would get a putback, and it just seemed you didn't get a lot of positive reinforcement on some stuff that you actually did well, and it just seemed, and they got some easier points than you were able to get.
Yeah, and I agree with that, and I think our guys did a better job of, you know, a lot of times we're talking about being emotionally strong, you know, and you know it's just it's easier to have a aggressive, like you're saying, you get a little oxygen and get a little reinforcement when something goes good, and when it doesn't, when you do something well and it bounces the other way, it can kind of deflate you a little bit. And so what we're working on a lot is, hey, you know, I think personally in life is you're an energy giver, you're an energy zapper. I mean, I don't know too many people are in between. And we want guys that are energy givers. And so energy givers encouraging someone or coming in there with a lively attitude or making an energy play with it. And so that's what we're really stressing. But I agree with that. And I thought we did a better job of kind of sustaining being emotionally better today with that.
Yeah, it just seemed that, you know, especially when you made the run and got fairly tight the second half, you know, they had some of those dumps and lane scores, and obviously you hadn't scored from the line for a long time. It just seemed the combination of that kind of created the deficit you were in at the time.
No, there's no doubt about that. And I think it is a combination of a lot of different things from different places at different times. I mean, that's just the nature because there's so many variables involved. But I agree with that. So, you know, we're disappointed in loss, but I'm not disappointed in you know, bottom line, in my opinion, our coaching staffs and hopefully our team is we're not at the mile marker we want to be at, but we're on the right road. That's how I see it.
Time for one more. Does anybody have anything else?
One more.
You were reading.
He just took it.
No,
Do you have
one and a
any
half.
more?
One and a half. What'd you read on the conference right now? Are you able to even?
I haven't read anything on the conference, so that's my. I have no clue.
Yeah.
I got no clue.
Do you feel like, though, do you have any sense of, you know, the schedule you've played to this point and how it's prepared the guys to be ready for what they're going to see in the conference?
You know, I know that's a good question, and that's I think a well asked question throughout the country with different teams. But and I almost don't care who you play. I mean, you can play the murderers row of the Yankees, Red Sox, and whatever, the St. Louis Cardinals. And my point is, when you get to conference play, it's a different ball game. It's different. I think in every conference. I just do. I mean, I think it's an interesting, dynamic conference play. So hopefully it does, but I really think it's just maybe apples and oranges a little bit. It just is.
Do you have any sense? You say you haven't really paid attention to what's going on. You don't have any sense of what teams are like, or
I'm just trying to figure out what our team's like. I have a hard time with that. It's hard to coach one team. I don't try to coach two teams. I don't try to figure out. And you know what? Sports. I mean, you tell me. You figure out sports. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's the goofiest stuff, and that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it interesting. If you had to figure it out, you wouldn't be living here. You'd be living in Vegas.
I did for a long time.
You didn't last long. Yeah, you left.
Did you utilize the zone very much today against Jones? The zone
No.
No?
No.
Was any reason behind that? I know we had talked about it yesterday before practice.
Just didn't put it in today.
Is it something that you guys focused on a lot at practice during the week? Or
No.
We haven't been cut off. You had to feel good about Ash hit some shots from the perimeter tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Ash played pretty good, and he's since Christmas, I think he's really played well in practice. He's done a lot of good things in practice. So hopefully he's getting more comfortable and more consistent and everything with that.
Coach, when you say that conference is a very different ball game, what I mean, just more intense? What
Oh
do you
yeah,
mean by that?
it's intense, and yeah, it's more intense. They know you better. They've had everyone studies, year after year. Most teams don't change the schemes too. I mean, they might, everyone tweaks things all the time, obviously, and there's going to be some new players every time. But I mean, no one spends more time in terms of studying it, because it's a year after year after year thing, and then plus the intensity, and you got rivalries, and you're playing for a champion. Non-conference, you're not playing for a champion. There's standings, and you're playing for those championships. So I think that's what conference play across the country makes people like that.
You said you weren't sure about the mile marker, that you're on the right path. Are you
Road.
close
Road.
to? Yeah. Are you close to where you thought you might be, though, knowing?
Actually, I think we're further than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
To be perfectly blunt, huh?
With the turnover of the roster. And the
Oh yeah,
challenge of that.
I mean, you're dealing with everything. I mean, everything. And that's not negative. It's just part of the process of people and kids and ages. It's not a negative thing. It's a good thing. It's a good process. Okay, guys, have a good one.